Here with Slippery Rock Associate Head Coach, Defensive Coordinator Shawn Lutz. Shawn, coming into the season here, PSAC Preseason Media Day. Slippery Rock picked third in the preseason poll. I know the coaches, the team don't put much weight into the preseason polls every year. But talk about 2 first-place votes in the poll. Talk about the poll with Cal and IUP and Slippery Rock. Talk about your feelings on that.
I tell you the truth, John. It really doesn't surprise me about California IUP because they have a lot of players coming back. It's not a coaching cliche, I'm really surprised where we are being third, because if you look at who we lost in this past season, we lost 5 critical guys on defense. 2 starters, one was an All-American in Brandon Waters, Jason Nixon. Both those guys have 4 years of starting experience. Then we lose an NFL corner, Andre Freeman, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then at linebacker position, Zach Sharon was a 4-year starter. Jake Wickline was a first-team all-conference guy who transferred in from Edinburgh. So you lost 5 pretty good guys on defense. And then you go offensively, Cody Endress, number 1, okay? He broke a lot of records here at Slippery Rock. NFL receiver, and Devin Goda right now, free agent for the Baltimore Ravens, along with 2 good offensive linemen, and A.J. Hopp and Dan Purse. So if you look at some of those guys, I thought we'd be picked a little bit lower. But I think it helps with the year we had this past season being the champs in the West. I think that's kind of where we were picked third. But actually, it kind of surprised me where Mercyhurst was picked and Edinburgh. I thought we'd actually get picked a little lower because of who we actually lost this past season.
And you mentioned the people we lost last year, but a strong core of veteran players turning this year, notably 2 that are here with us today, offensive center Austin Fedell and defensive lineman Jeff Thompson, who's going to be one of the leaders of your defense this year. Talk about, one of the big things that made Slippery Rock so great last year was how stout the defense was. I mean, 17-3 win over Cal. The defense was outstanding all year long. Talk a little bit about where the defense is going to be this year.
That's a great question. Some inexperience at some positions. I think the strength of the defense will be at 2 spots. Number 1, in the secondary will be at corner position. We do have Anthony Saunders, Brandon Burley, okay, those 2 guys, and along with a little bit of Mir Carter, who had a little experience from Beaver Falls. So at corner, we'll have some experience there. And the position, I feel, could be one of the best we've had since I've been at Slip Rock is the defensive line. We got Jeff Thompson, who was an ex-linebacker. We try to get faster at each position. We recruit him out of grade school like Clarendon High School. He'll cause fits on anybody. He's so explosive. He's so fast. That's why he's a preseason All-American. And then we got returning starters inside with Derek Walker and Jack Charles, along with Tony Papley. So if you add those guys in the mix, you got to be strong and solid. You got to stop the run like the Pittsburgh Steelers do. They're always solid against the run. We'll be very good up front. A little experience at the linebacker position. We have some great newcomers coming back. But safety and linebacker will be a position where some newcomers will have to fit in well with the great recruiting class we just had. So I'm excited about it, but some inexperienced spots on defense, definitely, John.
And looking at the offensive side of the ball, I know not your specialty, but offensively, you mentioned we lost Cody Endress, set a lot of passing records last year in his 1 season here. Quarterback job back in the fall or back in the spring looked like it was swinging toward Jared Buck to be the starter coming into camp this year. Offensive line anchored by Austin Fedell, a returning all-conference player, outstanding line. You got great depth in the backfield this year, maybe the best 1 to 3 backs in the conference. Talk a little bit about where the offense goes this year.
Well, I think the very first thing you got to start with, it's going to be a little different offense because we do have a new offensive coordinator and Coach Phil Longo. Different aspect, different approach. I think you're going to see a totally different offense than you've seen this past season. They run a little bit of a spread offense. It's going to be a lot fast tempo, a lot of no-huddle stuff. So it's going to be a little different in that regards, and we're very, very excited about that. And you said it right. I mean, the tailback tandem we have with Zubik and Akeem Sadaford, who some people say he's the best in the country. He was a little banged up with his injuries and stuff like that, but now he's healthy. It's a good 1-2 punch there. And then a lot of people don't know about Jared Buck, and he's a guy who 6'3", 6'4", very athletic, can really throw the ball, but the biggest quality he has, and everybody looks at this at that quarterback position, he's very poised, he's very smart. It's a complicated offense, a lot of checks and balances because you're calling a lot of stuff from the sidelines. He makes that adjustment real well compared to Cody, who's more of a pro-style drop-back type of quarterback. So I think a lot of people, don't be surprised if Jared Buck is one of the best quarterbacks coming up in the conference. And, you're going to win with. We got some good skill positions, guys coming back. Ken Amos, John Chapman. That would add good addition to that offense as well.
And last season, the renaming of the field last year to Mahalik Thompson Stadium, undefeated at home last year, 6-0. This year, your opening game Thursday night, you'll debut a brand new turf that was installed this year, a new aesthetic look, add some color to the end zones, but the turf is outstanding, brand new field. Talk a little bit about the going into that home opener, where the mentality of the team will be to get on that new field.
I tell you what, the one thing you all know this, when you have a good year and you win, and we didn't feel like we were satisfied with last year because we still didn't make the national playoffs. So you got every game to me in this conference is a playoff game. But I don't think we're going to sneak up on anybody this year. There's going to definitely be a bullseye on our back. We got to be ready to go. But we had a great off season in terms of our strength and conditioning. Our guys really stepped up this summer and made that commitment. And I can't wait. There's a lot of great things going around at the university with the new field. It looks beautiful. We're getting renovations in our weight room with the other sports. And new jerseys, the guys are excited about that. The tight jerseys the NFL wears. And so there's a lot of great things. So I'm excited for this Wednesday, coming back and getting ready for the upcoming 2012 season, because it's not going to be a good year unless we win a conference championship and get in national playoffs. I think we have an opportunity to do that. So I'm just excited about Wednesday.
Outstanding. Good luck, Coach.
Hey, thank you very much, John. Appreciate it.
Here with Slippery Rock defensive lineman Jeff Thompson, senior. Jeff, coming off of last year's success, PSAC West champions for the first time in your career, where's the mentality of the team coming into the 2012 season?
Well, this year we just know we have a chip on our shoulder. We know we got a target on our back this year, so we coming in like more humble. We working harder. We push ourselves more throughout the summer and throughout the spring. So this year we coming in with a bigger chip on our shoulder, like a more proof to prove, because we fell short at the end of the season. So.
And you yourself had an outstanding season last year coming in for your senior year. Personally, as an individual, what are you looking forward to going into your senior season on the field? I'm
going to try to be more dominant and try to make more, help out my team. That's what I can from my last season. Try to better everyone around me, be a better team player, and I'm trying to just come out and dominate as much as I can for my team.
And along with yourself, you have an outstanding senior class coming back. Your fellow senior offensive center, Austin Fedell's here. We'll talk to him in just a bit. Talk about the senior class and the unit that you guys have and how you've come together throughout the years and coming into your final season together.
Our senior class, man, we like blood brothers for real. We hang with each other on and off the field. We like our own fraternity. We just really like cool bondage, and our chemistry is really tight. We've been here with each other for about 4 or 5 years. So we like all best friends. They said your college friends is your best friends.
And looking at the preseason poll that was unveiled today, no surprise really if you've seen the preseason polls before. Cal and IUP picked tied atop the league. Slippery Rock picked third with 2 first-place votes. Does the poll mean anything to you guys coming into camp?
Not really, because the preseason poll is just basically someone's opinion. And everybody's going to have their own opinion, but the facts is at the end of the season. So we don't really let that phase us that much. We use it as motivation, as a point proven. So we don't really pay attention to the preseason poll that much.
Outstanding. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here is Slippery Rock senior offensive lineman center Austin Fedell. Austin coming off an outstanding season for you personally as an individual last year, and also coming off an outstanding season as the team last year, PSAC West champions. Talk a little bit about where the mentality of this team is moving into the 2012 season.
I think the mentality of the team is we just kind of want to build off last season. Last season was very successful for us, and we took a big step forward. We tied for the conference, made it to the conference championship game, and just lost to Kutztown by 7 points. But this year, I think everybody, we have to take it 1 week at a time because we've got a very tough schedule, and there's really no easy weeks in this conference. It's a tough conference. You got to, week in, week out, you got to bring your best. You're going to lose. But I think we want to build off the success we had last year and hopefully take that next step forward and maybe win the conference championship and make it into the D2 playoffs.
And last season, you had enormous shoes to fill coming into the year last year. Brandon Fusco, the center from 2 years ago, drafted by the NFL. You come in last year, you have an outstanding season, your first year starting as the center. Talk a little bit about, personally, where you see yourself moving this year on an individual basis.
I just want to, my goal every day in practice is to just get better. Every day, learn something, get better, and really, as an individual, that's all I want to do. I just want to be able to contribute to the team success. I mean, as an offensive lineman, the individual, praise is, doesn't really come that much. So really I know that I find my success in the team success. That's why I really focus on the team goals and how I can make myself contribute to the team.
And looking at your team contributions this year, Slippery Rock boasts maybe one of the best backfields in the PSAC this year. Keith Satterfield coming back, Jimmy Zubik coming back, LaQuinn Stevens-Holland coming back, and some newcomers that are going to add some depth back there as well. How much pride are you going to put into your offensive line this year and making a big hole for those guys?
Definitely. We got to give those guys room to run. I mean, all of them are great running backs. Akeem, past 2 years, Akeem just shreds defenses. You just got to give him a little bit of room. I mean, those guys make us look good, but it's our job to, give them a seam, keep guys off them, and once they get in open space, they can. That's when they're at their best, when they're in the open space. They can always break a tackle or two and turn it into a big run.
And looking at the preseason poll that was released today, no surprise, Cal atop the poll again, like they always are in your career anyway. IUP tied with them for the top spot, Slippery Rock third with 2 first-place votes. Do you guys put any attention whatsoever into the poll when you're coming into camp here? Or do you guys just look past that and focus on the season?
No, not really. I mean, people know about it, but it's not really a point of focus. I think last year we might have been picked 4th or 3rd, and we finished 1st, and then years before I think we might have been picked 2nd and finished. So I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with the team's success. So I mean, I think we know what it is, but maybe it's a little extra motivation if we're put down low, but it doesn't really hold much meaning. I don't think we really pay too much attention to it.
Outstanding. Thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Quick and painless. Thanks.